everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing all right. In my last video, we built an AI powered invoice extraction using OpenAI and UiPath. That's actually a first session. And by the end of the session, what we have concluded is that, using AI, we could read the messy PDF, extract information such as, invoice number, invoice date, etc. When a traditional OCR fails. For example, traditional OCR fails usually when you have a document which is of an image or handwritten document. But the truth is, that's not actually a real breakthrough because right now your bot is just extracting the data. It's not thinking, not making any decisions, or not acting, right? So today, I'm going to show you how to take that same solution which we have done and turn it into an AI agent. Let's get into it. So, before we actually go into the entire depth of running the process, building the automation, let's understand few theoretical knowledge. First and foremost, problem with the traditional bots. Let's be honest, most UiPath today basically the data extraction processes or document extraction processes works like this. You extract the data using OCR, document understanding, and then if the results, whichever we got it from the document, has some certain values that you want to look for, if that is true, then you perform certain steps. Else, you perform certain other steps, right? Maybe send for human validation and so on. Now, what happens when something changes? A new invoice format has been uh, given to the process, or there is a missing information, or there are value which are of unexpected formats. During this time, what happens? Your bot will break, and what you need to do, you will have to handle the scenarios by adding additional logics. Now, through our previous sessions, we concluded that AI can extract the data from the document, PDF document of any type. Basically, when I say any type in the PDF documents, which is of say scanned document, images, or even the handwritten documents. But if you are still writing all these rules plus extracting the data using AI, that's not actually an AI agent, but it's just a smarter script. So, what actually makes a bot an AI agent? Well, the answer is simple, the concept of decision making. Let's take the same example that we had earlier, which is an invoice data extraction process. Instead of just extracting the data, now what you can do with the concept of decision making, it can decide if the invoice is valid or not. It can ask if there is any information is missing. It can reroute the task to approval process if there is the amounts are not as per expected within the range. And then it can even have a rejection concept where if it feels like something is wrong. Now, if you have the decision making concept added to your bot, that's where the breakthrough comes. Meaning your bot not only just process the things, meaning the PDFs, but it makes the decision for you. That's actually a shift from automation to agentic automation. In a simple term, let me explain about the concept of this agentic AI. An agent in UiPath has just the three things. One is the LLM, we call it as, or I call it as a brain. And then the workflows, I call it as a hand. And then control loop, I call it as a logic. So what this LLM does, it understand and reasons out from the context. And then what workflow do? It performs the action, same as traditional workflows, just that your AI triggers the workflows, not your if conditions or any other conditions. And then the loop or the logic, it decides what to do next. All right. So if you have these three components in your automation, then you have already built an agent. Now, one more topic that I missed out in our previous session, which is about the prompt engineering. The concept is the system versus the user prompting, or basically system and user prompting. Why I am bringing this is that I have to use the concept, or I'm going to demo you on utilizing these two concepts in today's session. So before even I go to the demo, I just wanted to give you a brief information about system and user prompting. Now, the system and user prompting are very critical when you're building an AI agent in UiPath. Most people usually do this, that they send a one big prompt, and yes, it actually works. We have seen it. We have done it as well in our previous session. But what is basically will happen is that it's not really a reliable way to build a prompt. It may break slowly or gradually in future. Now, to overcome this, we have the system and level prompting. Now, what is system prompting? In a general term, it basically, defines the behavior of an AI. It can be of a rule, it can be a boundaries, and then it can be an output format. Now, the user prompt is basically, it's a task. What's supposed to do? Now, why they actually matter is because, if you have these two separately defined in your automation, your output become more consistent, your JSON data doesn't break randomly, and your agent will behave predictably. Now, having said that, if you're going to build an real agentic AI or AI agents, then these two types of prompting, it's not a optional for you, it's a foundation. That I just want to give an idea for you where you can define this in your UiPath. When you ac- access the activity called generate chat completion, under prompt, you can actually provide both of variable system prompt and user prompt, the way that you can see it in the screenshot. We will go into it. I'll show you in the code as well. This is just to give you an idea. All right. So the new agentic workflow that I'm going to talk about after this is that on a high level, it reads the data of a PDF, and then we feed that data into AI. AI reasons are being shared by the output variables, and those output variable we will convert and deserialize it, and then that's where we utilize it for our business task. Okay, now how do we do that? We'll get into it. I'll stop the PPT screen sharing. We'll go directly into UiPath. All right, now as you can see in the screen, I have already prepared the documents or the script for you. I'll walk you through them individually. First, like I mentioned, read the PDF. Now, I have three PDFs, sample 1, 2, 3. Let me open these three files. One is this one, which has total amount as this number. And then another PDF is this one. It doesn't have any total information. And the last one is this one. The total is available. Okay. So these are the three types of PDFs that I have. Let me go back to my script. Now, as you can see, in a theoretical concept, just before this, we talked about system and user level prompting. As I mentioned, system prompting is nothing but it's a concept which talks about the behavior of an AI. So I have mentioned roles. I have provided the task that it's supposed to do, and then rules that it's supposed to follow, and then it written the output format. So the role is nothing but you're an expert data extraction agent, extract invoice data, prioritize integrity over inference. And then the JSON data, in terms of rules, return JSON data. If total due is missing, then action should be need information. No guessing, use null for missing field output. Now, if you notice over here, and let me also open the script that I have done in the session 3. I want to show you the differences between these two prompts. Not actually the session 3, session 2. Let me close this. Now, if you see, I have not defined user level or a system level, everything merged together one. And in here, I talked about like this, right? Entire, I'm giving lot many characters or wordings over here in the instructions. But if you see my this one script that I just written or a prompt, it just trimmed down maximum amount of token usage has been reduced over here by reducing the number of wordings. And then comes what the user level prompting. So in the user level prompting, I'm providing the context and then logic and then schema and everything. In the previous session, which is session 2, what I have done in the context, same thing, PDF data has been provided. There is no schema or anything as such. I did give an example over here and then the output. So basically, this becomes these two becomes a user level prompting. Now, going back to the current prompt in the user level, if I zoom in a bit, so I have provided the context and the logic. So in here again, not much of the wordings, just that amount is greater than 100K approval. Send an basically it's an approval procedure, and then due total due is blank, need info, else process. So that's my logic. And this is my schema. So I am returning the invoice number, invoice date, amount, action, either process, approval, need info, and then agentic note. Positive summary of what was found or why expert review is requested. And then that's it. That's all I wanted to ask as a user prompt. Now, when you have these two variable defined, how to give a prompt in the generative OpenAI is that if you may see that, let me just do that. I'll delete it everything. Okay. Just, yeah, let me just do that. Delete everything, save. Now, if you see, let's do one thing, just a second. Okay, I'm just going to show you something. Now, you see reset to text builder. If you have something provided in the prompt, just click on this reset to text builder. Then it gets cleared out. Then you can select your variables such as, user prompt as my variable. But first and foremost, just provide the system prompt. Okay, so for system prompt, this is one. And then again, click on the adjacent, the end of system prompt, and then just select the user prompt. And that's it. Select save. It gets populated over here. And then I'm just converting, trying to eliminate any additional character that I may end up getting. Like I mentioned, even if we do all this, take all the precautions and everything, there are chances that we may end up getting some more additional context from AI. So just to make sure on a safer side, we just clean up those information. Either this is one way, another way is that you can use a regex concept, which I have explained in the session 1. I have just printed down the AI responses after trimming the data, passing those to deserialization. Now this is where the switch action comes into play. what I have done based on the responses that I get, the responses meaning whether I should process, approve, or need information. These are the three variable I'll be getting from the uh, AI. So if it is process, no need to do anything, meaning whatever the business steps that you need to add, you can add to process. If it needs information, it's going to send a email to certain people, and it would send the information such as all these data which is got from the AI, and it asks them to reshare the document because there are missing informations. If it's an approval, then it will draft again, sending an email, which is basically, review the request and submit your decision. So you basically have a Google form created for this. So I'm sharing that form, and the user just have to approve or reject. If they approve it, then you can add additional steps and proceed further. So this is the logic that I have built. Now, without any ado, let's run this solution. We'll start from the PDF one, which is basically uh, sends the approval because it's more than 100K. So it's going to request for an approval. So let's see how it runs. Now it has executed the prompt, basically the OpenAI, and then we got the result, and it says if you see action, approval, agent, notice this the total due is requires a approval because it is the amount is exceeded of 100K. Now let's run this entire solution. Now the run has been completed. I'll go and check my mailbox. You see, let's automate channel, and I got the email for approval or reject. Let's click on this form, and I get a option to either approve or submit. So if I say approve, it gets sent, request has been submitted, and the further next step, whatever we can write, that gets activated. All right. Now the next concept, what we can test is this PDF, wherein it doesn't have any information basically for the amount. So let's use this document, copy document. I'll go to the PDF and then paste it over here, and then we'll again debug the process. Now AI completed its analysis, and it says that information, basically action is need information, total due is missing, seeking further clarifications. If I just run it again, as per our requirement, it's supposed to send one more email to me stating that I need a further information. Going back to the mail, and I see colored mail I have received, right? Now the third document, it's correct one, so it's supposed to get processed without any issue, without sending any email. So let's see that too. Going back to the PDF, pasting the document, and then running it. The run has been completed, and if I see no issues, proceed further. That's what it is there for our switch condition. All right, so now this is where things change because now your bot handles variability, your logic becomes flexible, your automation scales better, and most importantly, you stop the hard coding of everything. So that's it for today. In our next video, we are going to take one step further. Right now, we are still controlling the flow. But what if AI can choose which workflow it can run? That's where the function calling comes into picture, and that's where your bot truly becomes agentic. Now, if you find this session useful, hit that subscribe button, like and share, and I'll see you in the next one.